A very good day to all of you from Amit Kumar Mehta. Today we'll be discussing an important paper for your MBA Semester 2, Organizational Change and Effectiveness, Unit number 9. This will be an important topic for all the management students who are there with me, connected with me. The topic is business ethics and corporate governance. We'll be just discussing business ethics over here. Before we start with the topic, I would like you to subscribe this particular channel so that you can receive any new video update that I put on YouTube. Moving on to the topic, I'll start with a particular quote which is very relevant in itself. To educate the mind without morals is to educate a menace to the society. This is what Theodore Roosevelt used to say. He said that just educating the mind is not enough, because if you have not infused into the mind the morals of the society, then probably a lot of menace can happen to the society. So what are the various menaces that he was talking about? What can actually go wrong? Where can we actually go wrong? Let us just have a look at those particular things which can go wrong. Talking about Enron. Enron was the biggest scandal. It started in 2001. It was found out in 2001. Enron scandal was basically about Houston-based Commodities and Energy Service Corporation. The fun fact is that it was one of the most innovative company for America for 6 years in a row before the scandal. And when the scandal happened, it wiped out around $74 billion of shareholder wealth. Thousands of employees lost their jobs. Thousands of investors lost their retirement funds. Thousands of employees lost their retirement funds. So just imagine the kind of impact one wrong decision can have on your particular business or on the entire society. Moving on to the mother of all the scams that have happened, the Lehman Brothers scandal 2008. Fun fact once again is that in 2007, just 1 year prior to this particular scandal, this particular company was named as the number one most admired securities firm by Fortune magazine, the biggest magazine which talks about management and business, named it the most admired firm. And in 2008, they led to the global crisis where at Lehman Brothers they had hidden over $50 billion of loans. They had taken loans and disguised them as sales. They showed loans as sales, and that is why this particular Lehman Brothers problem arose, and which led to so many banks collapsing. It led to the global recession. In the entire globe went into a recession because of this particular Lehman Brothers scam. Moving on to coming back to India, we had the Satyam scam in 2009, where Mr. Ramalinga Raju, the founder of Satyam, confessed about his particular manipulating the financial statements, and he told about a lot of things that he had been wrongdoing at the particular financial statements of the company. He had accepted that the revenue made by the companies were overstated. Now, he had inflated the cash and bank balance. He had shown accrued interest which was not existent. Understated liability of rupees 1230 crore was declared, which was not there. And an overstated debtors position of around 490 crores was again mentioned, which was again not there in the books. Now the fun fact is, an actual number of employees was only 40,000 and not 53,000, and Mr. Raju had been allegedly withdrawing 20 crore rupees every month for paying these 13,000 non-existent employees. So he was actually involved in a particular fraud. A problem with all these frauds is that you have to understand that it takes around 20 years to build a reputation. For any firm to build a brand, it takes around 20 years, and in just 5 minutes you can ruin the entire gains that you have made. If you think about that, you will start thinking differently, is what Warren Buffett says. Now, the problem with all these scams and frauds that are happening inside the companies is that there is now a crisis in the business ethics. Now, the consumers do not trust the businesses anymore. They look at the business skeptically. No sector, if you talk about it, no sector is exempt from ethical misconduct. People and the companies have been doing it blatantly over and over again. Now, stakeholders also are very much concerned. The investors of the company, the employees of the company, the customers of the company, the interest groups, the legal system, the community on an overall. All these entities get affected if even one of these scams or scandals happen. And that is why there is a crisis in business ethics. And because of that, this is what Peter Singer, one of the thought leaders, has to say, that interest in business ethics courses has surged. Most of the management courses, most of the business schools are now teaching business ethics. The interest in business ethics course has surged, and student activities at leading business schools are more focused than ever before on making businesses serve long-term social values. The business, as we have discussed earlier also, cannot just be profit centered. It just cannot be thinking about itself. It just cannot be thinking about its shareholders. It has to keep on thinking about the stakeholders of the business also, who are the people who can get affected, and it has to conduct itself properly. Now, the ethical performance of a particular business means that adhering to the society's basic rules of what defines right and wrong. So it's basically a dilemma kind of a situation which a company faces whenever an ethical misconduct is done. It's a dilemma whether to go for option number A, whether to go for path A or path B. Path A is the right path, path B is the wrong path. And many of the times, because of stress, because of competition, because of targets, because of meeting the deadlines, because of complying with the government rules and regulations, businesses choose the wrong path, and that is where the ethical performance gets affected. Society, if you look at it, does not spare businesses which are conducting themselves wrong. They want the companies, the corporations, the industries, the manufacturing units, everybody to focus both on the profits and the society at the same time. They are not just satisfied with profitability, they are satisfied when both of the things coexist together. So what is basically ethics? If we were to define ethics, business ethics is a set of standard rules, morals and behaviors that any respectful organization should adhere to solve the problems that arise in business environment while performing their daily business activities. Whether they are dealing with large business organizations or with a single customer, it doesn't matter, but the conduct has to be consistent, the conduct has to be proper, has to be right from the point of view of the society, from the point of view of the law, from the point of view of the goodwill of the entire nation. Now it applies to all the aspects of business. It is not just one particular aspect of business that you apply only it in finance, not in marketing, not in your customer service. You have to apply it in all businesses, aspects of business, and in the entire business environment. When businesses speak about business ethics, what are they actually talking about? Business ethics, according to a company, how can that be defined? It can be actually avoiding to break the criminal law in one's work related activity. They are not trying to break the criminal law. Avoid action that may result in a civil law against the company. They are basically trying to follow the rules, and they are trying to avoid actions that are bad for the company image. So these are the basic ways in which any company can define business ethics, that basically they are not trying to invite any criminal law or any kind of a civil law suit that they want to have, and they are basically trying to build up an image for the company. They are actually trying to build up a bad name for they are trying to avoid a bad name for the company. Now, what are the various components of ethics? When we are talking about ethics, we can talk about integrities, we can talk about values, we can talk about honor, choices, conscience, responsibility, fairness, righteousness, honesty, principles, and morals. These are all the various components of ethics, which we do not need to go that detail into, but we just need to understand how business ethics is conducted inside of a company. So what are the various components inside of a company that are being dealt with? First one is commitment to excellence, that I'll always be helping my customers, my buyers, my sellers through the excellent way, the best way. I'll be giving them the best solutions, I'll be giving them. That is commitment to excellence. It should be law abiding, the company should be honest, the company should have respect for other groups, the company should have loyalty, the company should be accountable to all its stakeholders and shareholders, the company should try to build reputation and morale, the company should be a leadership profile in the particular domain that it is operating in, it should be the benchmarking, it should be a trend setter, it should be the pioneer, it should be fair, it should have concern for others, it should have integrity. So these and the promise keeping. So these are the various ways in which companies practice business ethics in their conduct on a daily life basis. Importance of business ethics. this topic being long, we'll be discussing importance of business ethics in part 2 of this particular video. We'll be doing that. You can watch the entire content in the second part of this particular video, the rest of the portion in the second part of the video. Thank you so much.